Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam on your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today going to be going through a Winston guide, everyone's favourite monkey. Going to be breaking him down, telling you guys how you should be using him. He can be very useful, even in the current meta. Some people say not, but I disagree, and so do the other people at your Overwatch. This was one of the most requested guides. If you have a hero you'd like us to go through, let us know in the comment section, and be sure to drop a subscribe if you guys enjoyed. So, Winston is one of my favourite characters to play in the game, which is funny because I'm more of a Genji player and Winston is a direct counter to Genji. So first of all, get into what you should be using Winston for, and that's really focusing the squishier, annoying players, especially Genji. Chasing down Mercies is also good, and even taking out Pharahs, because if you can do a bit of chip damage to her while she's just floating around and she goes right up in the air, you can jump up to her height and finish her off, or even punch her out of the sky, which is always fun as well. But I'm going to start with his primary weapon, which is his Tesla cannon. It does 60 damage per second to as many people that are in front of you within a 6-meter width. So a big chunk of your screen when you're shooting, if you can keep them in the center of it, just aim at the center of the people you're trying to kill, you'll do 60 DPS to them. What's really good about this weapon is not that it does a nice little bit of DPS to finish off the squishier characters, but you can also use it against Symmetra when she's got turrets everywhere. If you walk into a room as Winston and just hold down fire, you've barely even got to look at them and it will just fry them instantly and it'll get rid of them. So your team are safe, and Symmetra all of a sudden just becomes almost no threat when you're playing as Winston. It's very good for getting rid of them turrets, chasing her down as well, and killing her. She can do a lot of DPS, but Winston has more HP and you will kill her quicker than she kills you at close range in a 1v1 battle. One thing I already mentioned is his shift ability, the jetpack. Now this is very useful in many different ways. It can be used to just get around the map or get from spawn to the point quicker, and it also does 50 damage if you manage to land on someone. But what this is really helpful for is for chasing down them squishier characters that I mentioned you should be killing, because Mercy can fly away very quickly. If you do a bit of damage to her and she has a teammate quite far away, she can fly straight to them, so then you can jump straight after her and finish her off. And this isn't just specific to Mercy, it's anyone in the game. As I mentioned, Pharah, you can jump up and finish her off, or anyone that you need to get to, you can jump around and just get that extra bit of damage and finish them off. But the main thing really about Winston is his barrier. Now, some people say that this is very useful. That's just a complete lie. It's very useful in the game, and it makes Winston be able to take on characters that are actually direct counters to him. Now, I'm going to use Reaper and Bastion as an example. Both of these will melt Winston very quickly. However, if you can get up close and personal with them without them really noticing and do a little bit of chip damage, and then pop your barrier, you can use that barrier as a go-between to bait them into it or outside of it, and they can't hit you regardless. So it's kind of like a tug of war almost with the other character, and you back out and you can keep doing your chip damage, and the Bastion and the Reaper, they can't kill you. Now, this isn't something that you should always do. You shouldn't be trying to jump Reapers and Bastions, but this kit does give him a huge ability to not really have a counter if used at the right time. And not only that, but if there's an ult coming in and you just drop this, you can protect a huge chunk of your team for 800 damage for 5 seconds. So it's very good, and it's one of the best things about it. I've heard people say that don't choose Winston, his barrier is bad, it's not like Reinhardt's, but they're not comparable characters. This guy's a tank, yes, just as Reinhardt is, but Reinhardt can't move very fast, he can't jump, he doesn't have the DPS to get rid of Symmetra turrets. It's not the same character at all, and this barrier is very good on top of the kit that he already has. Now the final thing is the ultimate, which is called Primal Rage. Now you get 1000 HP and you do 40 damage per swing. But before you actually use this, what you should be looking to do is dive into an enemy death ball or onto the point and try and do some chip damage. You can then drop your barrier to help your team out, and when you're about to die, you then activate Primal Rage, which is your ultimate. You get all of your HP back and you can go swing in and bashing people's heads in and whatever you want to do. Now, one of the best things to do, and I didn't even know this until recently somehow, is the shift ability. The big jump Winston can do, as I mentioned earlier, does 50 damage when you land on someone. So if you can actually get a McCree or a Mercy or anyone up against the wall and punch them while in your ult and pressing shift, You'll be jumping into them, doing around 40 to 80 damage per second, depending on how many swings you can get in. And then every time you do the shift, which is every 2 seconds, you can do another 50 damage. So you can actually put out a lot of DPS in this mode. And I think that's something people don't realize, is that you should be shifting into them and doing that extra chip damage at the same time. So guys, that's the breakdown of Winston. He should definitely be used to take down the squishier players, but he can be used a little bit as a tank. He can take on people in these situations that usually would counter him, and his barrier is very, very important to use. Don't forget that his cleave attacks multiple people at once, and it can take out some Metro turrets like it's nothing. He directly counters Genji, so if he's giving you any issues, make sure you wreck him with Winston, and then they'll swap off of that Genji, because he's just no use against Winston. So, if this helped you guys out, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and if I missed anything in particular, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. We upload daily, and we love doing this, so I hope you have a great day as always. Thanks for watching. Take care and peace, people.